everybody. Welcome back to another awe-inspiring and invigorating edition of The Weekly. This is your update video for Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. Hope you all are doing well today. If you're watching on YouTube, wish our YouTube channel a little happy birthday there. On this day, or around this day, 6 years ago in 2017, we started our YouTube channel. And it's been a really good tool for us ever since. It really kind of sustained us and took us through COVID as a church there in 2020. But you know, there's really nothing sentimental about our YouTube channel. It's just a random fact that I didn't happen to know until I logged into YouTube this morning and it said happy birthday. So there you go. A little bit of useless trivia for your morning. Well, I've got a few things. I've got 3 things I want to run through with you here, and then I've got 3 reminders as we close everything out today. All right, so without further delay, let's jump right in here. And the first thing I want to talk about in today's video is a little section here called Keeping High Standards. I've got a few things that I've noticed and observed the last couple of months as far as our kind of standard week-to-week operation is concerned, and want to talk through some areas where I just want to talk about kind of, just holding the line as far as I think we're a team that has high standards. I think we've all worked really hard to build ourselves to a point, and I'm very proud of our team. I'm very proud of the people who are on our team. I'm very proud of what we do week to week, and I just want to maintain where we are. So I've got a few areas where I think we can do just a little bit of tweak and a little bit of tune-up that I think will help us keep the high standards that we're used to. But I do want to say as a caveat, and not just to soften the blow, this is really the truth here. You guys are an excellent team, and I really am grateful that we have that we don't have to deal with a lot of drama. We don't have divas on the team. We don't have, team members who are selfish and just insist on their own way. So I am legitimately very grateful for that, and I thank you guys for that. And all of you, you're very committed. We do 3 services a weekend. That is no light feat, and you all are very committed to doing that and to doing it well. So thank you very much. But here are a few things, just some things I've noticed that we could tweak up a little bit and keep our standards high. First thing I've noticed, I just want to offer the reminder that we are, remember that we are serving other people. And I think I don't think anyone forgets that, but it is really easy to get locked into your own Sunday morning schedule and your own Sunday morning routine and kind of forget about the fact that there are a bunch of other people who are coming in there and we're serving them specifically. And we want to make sure to do that at a high standard. So what's the tweak here? Well, there's a couple of tweaks. Number one, this is always a good reminder, though I haven't seen anything like crazy off base here. But just remember, when you're on stage, there could always be a camera pointed at you. So be cognizant of that. Be cognizant of have a warm, inviting look on your face. Try not to look like a serial killer, and be cognizant of what distraction might be caused. Also, think about the fact that we don't want to leave like water bottles and trash and things like that on the stage, because again, that could be in a shot, and we want that to look nice and clean. But the bigger thing here is at the end of the services, I've noticed this for a couple of months now, that as soon as Tom says the last benediction, or whoever does the last benediction, things really start shutting off within like a minute or two. I know some weekends I'll be like at the keyboard, still sitting there, fading things out, and I'll look up and like the screens are coming off and, everything's shutting down. Remember, we want those folks to be able to see the slide loop We want to keep the lights on for them, obviously. We want to keep the room kind of set as was. And I want you to think about this. I want the room to be mostly cleared before you start before you actually start shutting things down. Somewhere around like 95% cleared. There's always going to be the people that are, I don't know if your parents were like mine, but they hung around and they talked after church, and every week I was like, come on, let's go. I'm hungry. I want to go. There's always going to be those people. You don't have to wait for every last one of them to leave. But, I have seen things start to shut down when the room is still half to 3/4 full. And I don't want to do that either. I don't want to send the message hey, we're done. Get out of here. Don't bother us. I want to keep things up. So anyway, leave the house set until the room is mostly cleared. And I think you can kind of figure this out. Everybody has tasks that they can start to do while there are people still in the house. Go ahead and do those tasks, get your things set, and then as the last thing, shut everything down, bring everything down, and then we'll clear the house at that point. Okay. Other thing, and this kind of goes along with this, but attend to the equipment that you use. One of the things that I do on Sunday mornings for a few reasons. I try to go through and most of our equipment power everything on before you get there. I do that for a couple of reasons. One, so I can make sure that it works. This past Sunday morning, I came in and the LED wall had big blank blocks on it. And I spent half an hour troubleshooting that even before, I could attend to the other things. So I do that for a reason, but whenever you leave on Sunday morning, it would be really helpful if you could take the time and just power your equipment down. For the instrumentalist, wrap up your cables, make sure your amps are shut down, put on dust covers, all of those types of things. But think about the equipment that you're using. Think about it like you own it, and really make that a part of your thinking there. Okay. If you're at a spot, like if you're sitting at a desk and it's really dirty and you're like, man, someone should do something about that. Well, let me tell you about a resource we have. If you look under the lighting console, there's a little drawer, or a little 2-drawer filing cabinet. And there's some spray and a rag in there. You can grab that and you can wipe it down. Now, most weeks I try to go through and clean everything off. About once a month I'll go through and I'll wipe down the monitors, like the stage monitor and the confidence monitors and things like that. So I try to keep things pretty clean, but I don't catch everything. And if you see something that's dirty, that's one thing that you can do. Just grab the cleaner. We've got like an all-purpose kind of Pledge cleaner in there, and grab it and go for it. Another thing, just a thing we can do to keep our standards high. I've mentioned this in the past, and 90% of the time we do really well with this. But the given rehearsal time that I give you every week, make sure that you're on stage and ready to start at that rehearsal time. Not coming in, not still getting your in-ears in, not still turning on your microphone, not still trying to get your app up and going. Like, whenever I say rehearsal starts at 7, I want to start at 7 o'clock. I don't want to wait on anybody. We already have such a short time for rehearsal anyway, and being together, having everything set, having you set personally really helps us maximize that time. Two more really quick things. And actually, this next area, you guys are actually doing a really good job at this, but I want to throw it out there as a reminder, because I know we have new people all the time on the team. But that's the blockout dates. Keep your blockout dates updated. This is an area where we've been really weak in the past, and we've really made some good strides, and I feel like we're really strong right now. But I just want to throw it out there as a reminder. Keep those blockout dates updated as things come up. Yes, we put in the blockout dates right before we do scheduling, but also as activities come up or things get on your calendar, and maybe there's a weekend that you've not been scheduled for, but it is maybe 3 weeks away or whatever. Go ahead and put that blockout date in, because we do have people that have things come up and they have to decline. And that helps me know if you're available or not to fill in. And it saves a lot of time on the communication. If I can look at your schedule and know for certain that you're available, I don't have to text you, wait for a response, and then text someone else and wait for a response, and text another person, wait for a response. It saves a lot of time for everybody just keeping those blockout dates up. Final thing, this is a really practical thing. This is not like a well, I guess it does fall into standards, but you might have noticed, especially if you're running projection right now, you might have noticed that we are no longer using using a person to run the lights, but everything is automated through the lighting console right now, which is just fine. I know that all of those folks who served in the lighting area or serve in other areas, so I'm really happy to have them more available for those other areas as well. But one of the large gaps caused by this is the side lights. We have these battery-powered side lights that need to be powered on before the services start and shut down after the last service, and they need to be plugged in to be charged throughout the week. I need a few people to step up and help out with this. There are a couple of you that do help, but I need a few people to help kind of own this the weekends that they're on. So if this is something that you can help out with, please reach out to me and let me know, or I'll just identify a few people on my own and we'll get that going. But that is a gap that exists right now that we could use some help with. Okay. Well, what is that thing that they say? What was it? Mark Twain said, if you have to eat a frog, eat it first thing in the morning. I wanted to get that out of the way because you guys you're an excellent team. These are really like things that just help us go, help a good team be a great team, type of thing. Okay, second thing today, I want to remind you about the Fall Festival, which is coming up about a month from right now. Coming up about a month from right now. I really am not going to hash out all the other details that I've gone through, but I will say below, if you check out this video, wherever you're watching it, YouTube or Facebook, if you take a look at this video below, I have included a link back to my update video on, I think it was August 21st. And I linked you right to the spot in that video where I talk about the Fall Festival. In there, I show like how the grounds are going to be laid out. I go through the itinerary in a little more depth. So if you missed any of that, check out the video below, or if you need a good reminder, check that out below. But I want to keep that on your radar because we are in just the last few weeks of planning before that event. I've got the services. I've got kind of a first draft of the services set in there. I'm planning in the next few days to really finalize all of that so you can be practicing songs, and most of that's going to look pretty familiar. Most of it should look like our fall 2023 song list. But I know for Sunday morning, we're going to do some pre-service songs that are outside of that list. I'm trying to remember right now, but to my knowledge, I don't believe I threw anything brand new on there that we've not played before. But if you want to go ahead and take a look at that, you'll get you'll start to get an idea of what we're going to be doing for those services. The main thing is, for those of you serving on Sunday, and those of you serving on Saturday as well, Sunday after the services, we're going to need a lot of hands to load out the audio and the video and the lighting and the stage and all of that. So please make sure you are, please make sure that if at all possible, that you're there to help out with that. Okay. And I will, in the weeks to come, be making some more personal contacts just to nail everybody down and make sure that we're solid on all of that. Okay. Next in the update video, let's go over to Planning Center, and I want to talk about the next 2 weeks of services. For this coming weekend, Sunday, September 17th, I discussed this in a little bit of detail in last week's update video, but I don't want to go through that again since that is coming our way here in just a few days. We'll be finishing our series called The Difference, and then next weekend we're going to start a brand new series called The Book, and I've talked about both of those and how it relates to the song list actually that we're working our way through right now. So kicking off the service this weekend, we will have some baptisms. I don't have a final list yet of when and how many we're going to have, but we will kick everything off right at the top with baptisms. We'll then go into Rejoice, being led by Amanda, and then straight into Welcome and Greeting following that. We'll have our 3-song set, which will do Yahweh, Christ our Hope in Life and Death, and King of Kings. We will then go through our bumper video that we've had for this series, into the message, and then our invitation this weekend. I've been trying to, let me just highlight the invitation spot here because this might be helpful information for you. One of the things I've been trying to do as we get clarity from Tom on the invitations, I'll put in here come forward invitation or card invitation. So if you see come forward invitation, that's typically going to be a song with keys and a vocalist, and it'll be a shortened version of that song. Essentially, we'll just play it out until Tom stops us, and then we'll be done. If we do a card invitation, that's typically going to be a full song with the full band. Okay, so just so you kind of know how we're labeling things in Planning Center, that might be helpful information for you there. And then ending out the service here, we'll have Elizabeth lead Jesus Paid It All with keys. Okay, that's coming up for this Sunday morning. Just a reminder, and this will be in my reminder spot too, but we're having vocal rehearsal this week, our first midweek vocal rehearsal, and the vocalists, you guys will take a look at that. In fact, I think it might be helpful here. Let me pause just for a minute. Let's go over, and I want to show you, I've talked about these attachments, but vocals, as you are preparing for these services, if you look in the attachments, and let's see if you can actually see it here. Yeah, look right above my head there. If you look in the attachments, the types of things that you're looking for as far as vocal parts are concerned, this right here, this lead sheet SAT, this is typically what I'm going to be working from. And you'll find in the SAT a 3-part harmony typically is what you'll find there. And so take a look at that. When we get to rehearsal, I'll talk through like who's going to sing where we're going to have unison versus harmony, where we're going to have just the leader sing. But this is a helpful tool, especially if you're having a hard time nailing down a harmony part. Now, I'll say this. You don't have to follow the harmony precisely on this sheet, but again, it is a helpful tool if you need something to work out your harmony part. This choral sheet is also helpful, but I think you're going to find something pretty similar. Yeah, you're going to find something pretty similar there. Typically, you'll just find like the bass notes en route. What a compelling bass part. Anyway, the choir sheet, or there's like a piano vocal SATB. There's a few different things, and every song is different too. Sometimes they'll have certain attachments on one that they don't have on the other, and vice versa. But those are the things to look for. All right, let's go ahead to September 24th. And just a reminder, on September 24th, this is the first Sunday that the choir is going to be leading with the worship team. So choir next Wednesday evening, September 20th, I believe it is, from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. in the sanctuary, you will join for the midweek vocal rehearsal that evening, okay? So make sure your calendars are marked for that. Kicking off the service, we will do This Is Our God right at the top of the hour, and then into Welcome and Greeting. We'll then do this Sovereign Grace arrangement of All Creatures of Our God and King, Come Behold the Wondrous Mystery, and then rounding out the service with Only a Holy God. I will say this is the first weekend in our new series, The Book, and Tom and I have not worked out what's going to happen with the invitation there. So you might see another song pop up there before the end of the week. Just take a look. Again, I'll put in the notes what kind of invitation it's going to be and who's going to be involved with it. I will say, whatever it is, I will not have the choir come back. I know a lot of you go to small groups or have other obligations and things on Sunday morning. And it's also a lot of movement to try to get that many people on and off stage during a time that tends to be a little more delicate in the service. So choir, don't worry about, no matter what happens, don't worry about coming back for the invitation. All right, everybody. Well, that is everything for today's update video. I've already reminded you about the midweek vocal rehearsals happening tonight. That song list, I've talked about that in the past. I won't go into any detail. All that to say, check the link below. Make sure you're listening to that and that you're on top of everything. And of course, choir, I've already mentioned that your first rehearsal is going to be next Wednesday evening. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'm looking forward to serving with all of you who are on this Sunday morning for September 17th. Until then, have a great week.